Hello everyone and welcome. Today I was guided to offer a tarot guidance to anyone who might need to hear these words, because from an astrological perspective, we don't have the easiest energy, even though it's one of the most productive energies, and it can be extremely fortunate and a blessing and everything, just that we might not see it and feel it and be able to perceive it that way in the present moment. Some time has to pass until it clicks that whatever has happened in this moment, this week, this period, was actually quite a favorable turn of fate. So we don't have, just as expected, very easy cards. We have the Nine of Cups reversed, clarified by the Hangman. Now this does represent that some people are going through really tough period regarding mental health, and because of a strong soul level disappointment. But this isn't really like the egoistic kind of disappointment, oh nothing works out, or I had so many dreams, or I put so much effort into this, especially emotionally, because this is Nine of Cups, emotionally, metaphysically, psychologically, on a soul level. So this even goes hand in hand with certain people's esoteric efforts, let's say, to manifest something or influence something, etc., etc. But this is the kind of disappointment where you let go. Inner forces are telling you, why did I even desire this? Why did I even wish this? Why did I even want this? And this can be something very, very big, as in the work. Again, I have to highlight that it's not necessarily physical, but rather emotional, spiritual, etc. of the past 9 years. And now I don't really want it, or it is not helping me. I feel that it is no longer part of my journey, of my inner world. So this is what certain people, this is how they might perceive this energy. And of course, this, regardless of what the outcome is, this cannot represent in the present moment very happy moments, very happy days. Rather, the Hangman, contemplation, and in a certain way asking yourself, well, then what takes its place? Where am I truly wanting, desiring to go? And not due to external forces, but rather sheer internal forces. This is where you're actually consulting your soul. Well, what do you really want? What do you really desire? What is the path forward for you? But I repeat, this is very unlikely a material energy, because the material, even if it has some connections to it, this is where I wanted to say what makes you happy, but no, 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 it's not really happiness. What makes you fulfilled? At least, minimalistically, so that you can function, so that, you feel an emotional progress and flow in your life. And perhaps the Hangman in this case represents also frustration. It also and usually the Hangman does not, correlate to this kind of frustration, but in this case, this is where the water inside is, boiling, not as per rage, but as per then let it evaporate, let it be undone, let it be gone. This is where the soul accepts a certain kind of drought. It eliminates emotions, it eliminates desires, it eliminates basically the illusion of whatever it is that we have been guided to embrace either 9 years ago, 9 months ago. But it's not really all that bad, because it is just the expression, the shape and form of that, which is susceptible to the Hangman, because the essence of it we are going to receive without a shadow of a doubt. Now the next card is also similarly as heavy, yet it's in reverse position, the Ten of Swords. Now, usually the Ten of Swords is when we close something mentally. It's done. I accepted it. I moved on. Let me just give you some concrete examples. My business is closed. Thank God. Uh, Something is gone. Something is finished. Something has failed. It's okay. I accepted it. And I'm desiring or seeking to move on or to replace whatever is terminated with something much more useful. But in reverse position, there is a certain kind of suspense in the air because it is the moment before closure, but also before something new takes its place. And it is clarified by the Lover's card, another major arcana. And it is so very interesting that usually it's the major arcana that's the primary card, and some minor arcana clarifies it. In this reading, it's totally opposite. So this means that the minor arcana depicts just the illusion of the present. The major arcana represents how things are truly going to turn out. But let's get back to the Ten of Swords reversed. Well, it is where you're suspended. Not necessarily in the sense of, for example, like the Eight of Swords, where you're bound and blinded and there's no outlook, but rather in a way where you don't even want an outlook, you just want to process something, and because it's the Lovers clarifying it, you're waiting either from a response, a reply from an authority, official communication, job, institution, other person, a promise that was made to you, or for example a court date, something that is due with time. Chances are you'll get it, you'll hear back. Clarity, you're sure that clarity is coming because it would be impossible not to. But it is not here in the present moment, yet the promise of it, the certainty of it is here. So that leads to exactly the situation of the Ten of Swords reversed. Everything is hanging in the air. You're not bound, you're not blinded, but neither are you going anywhere. But the Lover's card means something a little bit more. This is where whatever you're waiting on, the communication or whatever, well, it's not just going to be favorable, it's going to be much, much better than you expect. And this is not in the cliche sense. This is not where it will delight you. This is where it might not really have a strong emotional uplift to it, but the practicality of it will take care of things in a way that it will make it easy for you. But the situation that you're in, and this is where this is swords energy, so this is practical. This can have a lot to do with material situation, with job, with career, with papers, with living situation, with relationships. But when I say relationship, even if it's romantic, there is a concrete element. Something needs to be signed, something needs to be done in a physical sense. Like, let me give you a funny and, or better said, a ridiculous example. You're waiting on the husband to actually fix the washing machine or to make up his mind if he'll fix it himself or you'll call a specialist. But the situation, this is like a ridiculous example because this is minor. The situation that you might be living might be, much, much more serious than this, if you know what I mean. So this is where a lot hangs in the air. As I said, either your home, your living situation. For some people, what choice a very, very loved and dear family member will make, like your child, like brother, sister, closest friend, etc. So this is where you're waiting on it, and even though you feel it coming, right now you're still hanging in the air. So all you have is either a strange stillness or silence. Now moving on, we have the Knight of Cups reversed, clarified by another major arcana, the Magician. Now this is where things might make some sense mentally. as I said, date, time, this is the natural course of a procedure. This is what logic dictates that happens next and how it's gonna happen. Or better said, even if it's not like a very concrete situation, this happened to 99% of people, so chances are it will happen to you as well. So this presents a certain kind of certainty, but the Knight of Cups, this is where emotionally you are not receptive. You don't care. You don't care about others, you don't care about the natural course of fate, you don't even care about all the security that your mind offers you. And it is very, very rare when security comes from the mental sphere. When the mental sphere is supportive, when the mental sphere, holds a helping hand, so to speak. But this Knight of Cups represents that emotionally you're not listening to the mental. You don't really care and you don't want to care because this is total fatigue. This is where even making a phone call with emotional charge attached to it is, you feel like it's impossible. You don't have strength. You don't want to have strength. You might feel that you just want to be left alone. And finally, as a conclusion, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. Now this, for some people, means work, like real service, career, job, lucrative situation, project. This is where you do need a break, or there is a breakdown for you to be forced to have a break, or there is a situation where chances are it might turn very, very bad. For example, there is a risk of you being let go, or the company is being cut in half, for example, or the company is in big risk of bankruptcy, or all of these expressions. But we have the Two of Wands, where chances are you're not really in danger, and after the pause, there is something coming your way to uplift you, coming your way to put you in the position, quite materially and physically as well, where you kind of need it to be. While for others still, if the company or the job is lost, well, it's the biggest blessing that you could probably receive, because something immediately, the Two of Wands, takes its place. And perhaps the reason why things are so stagnant, but due to inner forces rather, is because you really, really need a rest to embrace that new opportunity, the new offer. And that new offer with the Two of Wands might not be easy either. This is where you might feel it like you're dragged into something. Someone comes and almost takes your hand by force and drags you into a new job, into a new career, into a new relationship, into a new state, into a new travel perhaps, the Two of Wands. But, it does the job, and it will take some time for you to see the benefic side of this. For you to see the fact that you were dragged was the best thing that could happen to you, because maybe if you would rely just on inner forces, that Nine of Cups reverse would not allow you to take the opportunity, to take the chance. And for some people, this is where the universe comes with a bit of force. When there is a stubborn child and the parent waits and is patient, explains, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Super Nanny TV show, because it was in so many parts of the world. And, she waits, she's patient, she explains, she does what she needs to do, and even sugarcoats it. But there comes a moment when, patience runs out, or when being patient is way counterproductive. And then the severity, or a moment of harshness comes. This is where the universe might really do that to us, not send us in the naughty corner, but rather drag us into wherever we need to be, if you know what I mean. So even if these energies are rather, intense, and we might actually feel a little bit like a stubborn child refusing, for some people with this Nine of Cups, refusing to drink from their own spirit well. So even refusing your own benevolence, the universe might step in and say, enough of this, let's just get it done very quickly, because you're more than capable. But of course, all of this is where you also react to the external energies, to the astral energies. And in some ways, this is kind of how it's supposed to be. But ultimately, especially that Lover's card, it guarantees that something meets you there. The Lovers can represent the month of June, but the Lovers can also represent, for example, a date and time when you know either that you have to officially express a choice, a preference, sign a contract, or where life will just force you to make a move and you can intuit the timing of that. But chances are for some people it's rather the month of June, something meets you there. So be patient with it. And the magician also says, do not ignore rationality and solid logic, which actually depicts a rather optimistic picture. It is just your inner feelings that cannot perceive it that way. And for those of you who might be, waiting for a manifestation or what did you do esoterically, well, I'm not gonna lie, you're not gonna get what you desired, but you're gonna find a way to get it. But the real way, the proper either methodology, or you'll be put in the right state in order for you to realize what exactly it is that you need to do. And for others, still a partner. Now, the Lovers can also not be ignored. For some people, this is relationship. This is where, well, you've been looking for love, for partnership, for something, and you reach the point where not that you don't want it anymore, everything that comes your way, you reject it, you refuse it. This is where, oh my goodness, I'm so happy alone and I want to be alone for the rest of my life. Now, this is where plans might change very quickly, but truly in a shocking and unexpected way. But this will require wisdom and diligence, because perhaps your emotions are not gonna represent the truth, rather the solid approach of rationality. Because maybe it is the magician, so Mercury, the mind, that might tell you that, well, you're actually in a good position, or who and how, and the person that came your direction, it's exactly what you need, who you need, how you need it. Because your emotions might be way too, fantasistic. Like, let me just give a certain example. You dream of the biggest romance and the soulmate, twin flame kind of connection, and someone very carnal comes your way, and you would be even offended that how is the universe sending something like that your way? But maybe the universe knows that you need to be fixed hormonally. And when you are fixed hormonally, the life, reality, business, job, whatever, it will be like stepping into a new dimension where things do seem much more than okay. So I do hope that this helped someone who needed to hear these words out there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all the love and support. And wishing everyone a blessed week, and also blessed full moon in Sagittarius on the 4th.